I feel terrible for her, for what's happened to her family, to our entire tribe. I don't blame her for not trusting us anymore. It wasn't like that when Amir was born. We were a tribe. Her father was killed. Did you know that? He stood up for our beliefs. He tried to stop the miners from digging too deep. That was where it began. Some of the tribe, some of us, thought he was being unreasonable, that he was asking for trouble when he confronted the company, that blood would be shed. Him and his brother Red, they wouldn't listen. Said it was now or never, that the miners had to be stopped. Foreman put a bullet in his head, emptied his gun with the rest of us. He was screaming like a man possessed, like something had him, was inside him. His eyes were burning. His shadow was twisted. There were riots, senseless violence, arrests. Then came the storms. This island was ravaged for weeks. After it all quieted down, the rift in the tribe was too great. Some, too many, left. Others, like me and Red, we stayed behind, but it couldn't be mended. It's a terrible thing to have to choose between the people you love. But I was tired, and I wanted to look ahead, not back. And there was too much weight to carry. Too much darkness. That is how Amir grew up. In the shadow of a broken family, so I understand her better than she thinks. I took the wrong path, and now it might be too late, but we have to try. Amir's right. We must trust her instinct. Something in the land has been displaced. Something has been broken, an oath. If we had kept to our word, if we had maintained the wards that protect the mountain, this would not have happened. The wards were built by our forefathers and the visitors who helped fight the darkness the last time it fell upon us. Together, the two tribes created a seal that has protected us for generations. It has kept the darkness out, and it has kept the greater darkness locked in. We were chosen to protect and maintain it. 1,000 years the wards have lasted. Until now. We have failed. And now we have to mend what is broken. And like our forefathers, we cannot do it alone. Call me Old Joe. That's what everybody here calls me. On account of young Joe, Amir's brother. Did you know? Also, I'm loath to admit, because I'm a very old man. Nicknames know no mercy. These days, I guess you could call me a story keeper. I don't tell them anymore. Nobody wants to listen to an old man telling even older stories. The only thing that matters to the young ones is the present. And those who have been here a while, they prefer to look to the future, not to the past. So, I keep the stories, but I don't tell them anymore. Not unless someone comes and asks, or if they're outsiders and don't know not to encourage me. It's a sad thing when families can't settle their differences, and 40 years is a long time. That's how long we've been half a tribe. Even here, we're divided. Those of us who chose to stay in the camp, we've got our schemes and our plans. Frank and Joe with their schemes, a casino, Might as well be wearing headdresses and charging tourists for pictures, and Paul and Annika bringing big city folk out there into the forest to hunt exotic prey. They all believe the land belongs to us, that she's ours to exploit, like it's our birthright to take advantage of the land, like she owes us anything. I'm not saying we're the only ones at fault. Red, now there's a man some would call pig-headed, and they wouldn't be wrong. So, he's a man of principles, and I can't say I'd have done differently if I were in his shoes, but he played his part in this. He was never one to forgive. But we all had to make tough choices. He made his, and I made mine, and who's to say what was right and wrong back then? At least we know the reason why we didn't talk. We feel it. It's harder for the young ones, those who weren't here back then, like me and Kyra. They must all think we're old and stubborn, and we're less of a family for it. That saddens me more than anything. We go a long way back, our tribe in this land. For more than 1,000 years, these hills and forests are all we've known. We haven't left the island because we couldn't. If all of us left, there would be no one to guard it. The hills harbor a dark secret, but it was always our secret, and we were sworn to protect it, keep it, and shield the rest of the world from it. But the hills are treacherous. They whisper to the weak, draw them in. And the weak have dug too deep. The secret within is coming out. We are the people of the dawn, but the sun is setting. I fear for all that is good in this world. What saved us from the fog, saved our people from being turned into soulless things, was the very thing we'd neglected so long. Tradition, rituals, magic. What saved us was what our forefathers did to protect the whole island. And it took all this to make us see what we'd forgotten. We lost nobody, at least in the tribe. Of course, we lost everyone else, and it's not like we were isolated from the rest of the island. Those people were our friends and neighbors, and many here lost people, good people they cared about and loved. I know Amy still hopes that her husband is alive out there, but he's probably dead. Let's hope he's dead. The alternative, it's much worse. I don't know if those things that came back from the sea have memories or feelings. I hope they're just empty shells used by the Grey Men to serve their needs, to spread their filth. If there is any humanity left in them, well, that's a new kind of hell that I don't even want to think about. Why others survived the fog, I couldn't tell you. Could be there's a purpose to it, could be just luck. But us, our tribe, we were protected. And that's not something we can ignore. We have a purpose now. We have a mission. I hear the serpent. He whispers. Don't listen to him. All lies. They bring darkness. The mountains are crumbling. The forests burning. The earth trembles. They are coming. Huh? Oh. Pardon me, I've been dozing off at all hours of the day. God's sleep hard to find. For both the living and the dead. When we sleep, we dream. And when we dream, we speak with our ancestors. Our spirits connect with the spirits of those who came before us. But this leaves us vulnerable. Ever since they began working the quarry again, there have been nightmares. Someone or something has entered our dreams and causes us great unrest. There was a time when the webs of the dream catchers would hang outside every home. The webs would catch the dark dreams that can poison us in our sleep. They would protect us when we were at our most vulnerable. But our tribe has forgotten the ways of old. We no longer heed the warnings of those who came before. We no longer honor them. Our ancestors' dreams are being poisoned by the serpent that sleeps beneath the hills, and they in turn have brought those nightmares into our world. Their spirits are fearful, exiled from their sanctuary in the afterlife. They are doing the bidding of dark whispers, and they can no longer protect us when we slip into the dreaming, or when we're awake. We must help them. We must catch their dreams so that we can all sleep soundly again. Take